Hi, my name is Kat Kerr, and today we're going to be making 6 backgrounds using double tack dry adhesive sheets. Double tack is a permanent adhesive on both sides of an ultra-thin carrier, and it's protected by 2 heavy release liners. It bonds to paper, fabric, wood, plastic, glass, and more. I mainly use it to adhere paper, so when I'm ready to use it, I cut it down to size, remove one release liner, adhere it to my project, and then remove the other release liner and adhere the paper. I use these adhesive sheets a lot because they come in a 9 by 12 sheet and I can cut them down to size to fit any project. The adhesive is super strong, plus I don't have to wait for them to dry. For my first background, I simply add the dry adhesive sheet to the tag and then add some deco foil in different colors. Now what I love about this technique is that you can apply the deco foil in one solid color by just pressing it and then rubbing it with your hand, or you can apply it by just gently pressing it onto the dry adhesive sheet and quickly pulling it off, which creates a textured look. And if there's any adhesive left on your piece, then you just add a different color a deco foil, and it just leaves a really cool texture. For my second background, instead of removing the top release liner, I take a knife and just cut out some strips from the top liner. I'm not pressing too hard, just hard enough to cut through that top layer, and then I remove the strips. Now that I have some of the adhesive exposed, I can add one color of fine glitter. Then I remove the second batch of release liners and add a second color of glitter. Next, I take a piece of wax paper, press it on the entire tag, and just make sure that everything is adhered properly. For my next background, I first add some cardstock to the top of the tag. Then I take a Holtz die cut and cut out a black piece of paper about the same size as the die cut. Do the same thing with the dry adhesive sheet and then apply the black cardstock to one side of the dry adhesive sheet and then use my die cutting machine to cut it out. By adding the black cardstock onto one side of the dry adhesive sheet, now I have this intricately fine die cut with adhesive already on the other side. So it's really easy to apply, especially with all of these little elements. And all the little pieces that fell out also have adhesive on them, so they're really easy to apply. For my next background, I add a piece of cardstock using the dry adhesive sheet to the tag. Now instead of adding cardstock to this die cut, I'm just cutting it in my die cutting machine directly from the adhesive sheet, and then I'm removing one side of the release liner and adhering them on top of my cardstock. Next, I'm carefully removing that top release liner and then adding some color to the adhesive with some Alumidust. You can use mica powders, metallic powders, Alumidust, whatever you have. For my next background, I'm starting off with the tag that already has the double tack on it, and I'm just adding some images onto the double tack adhesive. And then the space that's still open, I'm pouring on some Finnabair micro beads, and normally you couldn't do this with regular adhesive because it's just too messy. But with the double tack sheet, it just goes and sticks onto the adhesive, and it makes a really cool background. I finished off the edges by using some metallic wax, and 1, 2, 3, this background is done. Now I've left my favorite background for last. I've started with the tag that already has the double tack dry adhesive sheet, and I've cut up pieces of metallic foil board. I'm going to apply them to the tag almost like a mosaic, leaving about 1/8 of an inch gap in between all of the pieces. Once I trim the edges, I fill the gap with glitter. So as well as using these to make backgrounds, you can also use these dry adhesive sheets to embellish. Here I'm just adding a little bit of color to an image, as well as using them on my journal pages. You can cut these sheets to any size, any shape that you like, and it will add some nice interest to your journal pages. You can also use them on three-dimensional items that are not necessarily flat. Here I just cut some of the dry adhesive sheet and added it to an egg, and then added some foil. For more ideas on how to use double tack dry adhesive sheets, visit graphicsarts.com. To see the complete list of materials used in this tutorial, see the description below. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe and don't forget to click that bell notification to see my new videos. Thanks for watching.